What's up, guys? It's Eventon here, and as you guys can tell by the title of the video, I'm not too thrilled with the expert systems and the way they're being released right now. I get it's day one. I'm sure they'll fine-tune some things, but at the same time, I'm not the type of content creator that's just going to say CCP is completely immune to any kind of criticism or feedback. That's why I'm actually making this video right now. And I'll be honest, when it was initially released and I looked at all the stuff and saw like literally nothing was changed, I was a little upset, but then I took a step back and thought things out. I mean, it's still relatively early in the morning. Like, I haven't even shaved my head. I'm literally neck bearding it right now, but I don't care. I wasn't planning on making a video today, but I did. But I definitely think there's some adjustments that could be made, and I want to try and keep this video short because I know if you guys are anything like me, my attention span is like 4 to 5 minutes at most. So we'll go ahead and jump into it. If you're looking at the expert system like home screen here, at least like on the official EVE Online page, you know, it gives some very general information. But it also gives zero information as to what you're actually buying. It just says, hey, core ship operations. It shows a picture of a Praxis, which kind of gives the impression you can fly it right away, which is technically true. You don't need skills in order to fly Praxis, but I mean, you're not going to have the weapon skills in order to do it. I wasn't a huge fan of having 4 different exploration packages. I actually made a forum post probably about 5 days ago talking a lot about this, and I'll actually do like a 45-second rundown here in a little bit. But my main issue is that it gives literally no information on what you're getting, like what skills, hey, how much time am I saving if I'm spending $4 or $5 on some of these expert skills? Like what am I even getting? Because if you actually click on this buy now option, I already opened it, it just takes you directly to the wallet. It doesn't even tell you what you're buying. So at least something on there, because it seems like everything on the website, the YouTube page, like everything on the official EVE Online platforms are just directing them to the store. They're not actually directing them, because there is actually information in game, which I'll show here in a little bit. But if you actually, I made this forum post 5 days ago, as you guys can see, it only got 2 responses. And I'm not expecting people to kind of just piggyback off my post just because I made them, but I was talking about feedback for catch-up mechanics as well as expert systems. I'll give you guys like the 45-second breakdown of it, but essentially, Rotati was kind of talking about, hey, a lot of players feel like they can't jump into ships right away. They have to wait a week in order to fly with their friends. I've been in the new bro chat a lot. I'd be surprised if maybe 30% of them actually utilized the referral link to actually get like 1 million skill points. Because I mean, if you're an alpha character, I mean, that's like 2 months worth of skilling. If you're omega, it's roughly like a month because you get double training speed, but regardless. And this here, I just said like, hey, why not allow new players be able to apply referral links like a week, maybe a month after they create the account? Because that happens so often where it's like, hey, do you get the 1 million skill points? And they're like, no. And it's like, well, I know you've been playing for a week, but you're going to save more time if you create a whole new account, add my referral, like it's just so many steps. And in their mind, they're just like, well, I've already played for a week. I don't want to do that. That's a headache. And then they're going to be complaining 3 weeks from now saying, oh, it's taking me too long to skill everything. I'm just going to quit the game. So I think just being able to retroactively apply referral links would be one solution. Another thing that was said here is EVE is a unique way that you can just grind skill points and all that stuff. I kind of made a thing where it's like, it'd be cool if there's an active way to get skill points as a new bro, basically accomplishing some of the activity tracker accomplishments. Like if you get level 1 harvesting, you get 5,000 skill points or 10,000 towards mining skills, whatever. I'm not going to go too in depth on that, but as you guys can see here, like one of the solutions I had was like, just consolidate all of the exploration packages, because as we'll see here in a little bit, there's literally 1 or 2 skill difference between the exploration packages. It's like, why not just make one high sec exploration package, give frigates 3 for literally all of the empires, and let them decide what kind of ship they want to fly, instead of kind of giving the impression here where it's like, well, I bought the Caldari Explorer package, I want to try the Amar one, now I have to buy this one, when in their mind, I mean, really all you have to do is just level up Amar frigates 1. That's literally all you need to do in order to fly a magnate, but they're new bros. They don't know that, especially depending on how new they are. I give some other things too about how some of the systems. Let's actually just jump into the into like the actual like in-game. Of course, again, I blew up my UI so it's easier for you guys to see if you guys are on your phone or anything like that. But looking at this, so it's not easy to find this at all. So if you're on like the skills tab of your character, you actually have to go over to character and then over to expert systems, strangely enough. And there's nothing else in the game that really directs you to actually what the skills are. And so as you guys can see, you get 33 skills and 34 skills. It seems like the shield-based empires get like 1 more extra skill, which isn't that big of a deal. But literally the only difference between a lot of these ships is that You get Amar Frigate 3 with Amar High Sec Exploration and Caldari. You get Caldari Frigate 3. And that's legitimately the only difference between like the shield and armor skills. That's like the difference. But new bros don't know that. So they might think in their head, hey, I need to buy the Amar one. But if I need the Caldari one, I have to buy that too. So now they're spending $4 when really they could just make it one package, charge $3-4 for it. I will say too, like the price points are pretty, they're pretty decent. I think $2 for the exploration one, $4 for the barge is great. I think the worst deal is actually the core operations one, the core ship operations, because you get a lot of these skills leveled up, but I've noticed between the mining barge and the Galente, or just the general high sec exploration ones, you get like 12 of the 14 core skills already, just built into this. Like you can actually see here, capacitor system, energy grid upgrades, like all this stuff. You already get that. So it kind of makes me question, why even bother getting the core operations like expert system? I mean, the only difference between some of these is like, if you get the exploration one, you might get CPU management 4 instead of 5. You might get mechanics 4 out of 5, or you might only get shield operation 3 instead of 4. But I mean, is it really worth $5 in order to get a couple extra points here and there when you can just buy the mining barge package, and at least you can fly a barge, you can fly a whole new ship, you get new tools and skills to play with. You get everything. You get 3 new ships to fly with and play with. I think that's awesome. So I think they need to add this information to actually the store. And it would be cool too to actually see how many skills you're getting, how much time you're actually saving if you buy this package, instead of just immediately taking you to the wallet. Because it definitely seems like there's not a lot of transparency with like what they're actually getting. So and that's just the sales side of me. I would prefer to be very transparent and have the buyer actually truly understand what they're getting, instead of just keep it very ambiguous and gray as to what they're getting. One thing I did notice is, for some strange reason, the mining barge operations, it only gives you drones 3. I don't know why we're not giving new bros drones 5. Like give them the rotating 5 dots. Like that's really cool. That was the exciting part for me. It was like the 5 dots rotating around me. So you're getting drones 3, but you're also getting advanced drone avionics, which actually requires drones 5. So are we giving them skills that they can either A, not use because they don't have drones 5, or are these skills just getting bypassed and they're still just getting drone avionics anyway? But now we're kind of presenting them some broken skill paths, right? So they might think like, if I just skill up drones to 3, and hey, why can't I use drone avionics? Because like drone avionic or drone navigation, drone interfacing, drone sharpshooting, like all those require drones 4 or 5, but they're only getting drones 3. So, and I remember some of the feedback, but one of the things they wanted with the expert systems was to kind of help new bros with the skill path. But when they're giving the skill path like this, it doesn't work, because they're getting skills that they technically should not have access to based on the skills that are presented here. And on top of that, one of the other things they want to do was obviously, hey, if someone gets into a ship, it feels very lackluster or disappointing if they get into a ship but they don't know how to fit it. As far as I know, it doesn't give you any fitting recommendations. It gives you nothing. So they're still back to square one, where they're like, cool, I have this cool ship. How do I fit it? What do I do? And of course, you could always go into the fitting window. I actually have my exploration ship here too, as well. But of course, you go to the fitting window, then you have to go to community fits, then you go to frigate, and then you look at like the community fittings and things like that. So I mean, it's still not helping new bros with like actually fitting their ship. Like they still have to go to either as people or still go to that community tab in order for recommendation, which in my mind, I'm not too sure about the exploration system, because honestly, you can explore day one. You're not going to have the best skills. I mean, this will help expedite a lot of those skills right away. I do kind of like the fact that it gives you some other skills that aren't really, actually, I would say needed for the exploration system, because even just having like energy grid upgrade and acceleration control and all that stuff is still good if you're flying other ships. Like, and that's what I kind of mean. Like the Magic 14, I understand, and I mentioned that actually in my post too, is like, I understand the Magic 14 is this kind of universally community created, agreed upon sacred text of like, this is the Magic 14. But I just think the Magic 14 just doesn't give enough skills to actually be worth $5 a week, especially since if you could just buy any of the other expert systems and get the majority of the skills already. I think in my post, I actually mentioned that they should be adding like acceleration control, afterburner, high speed. You guys can, I'll link my post. You guys can read it. I think it's a pretty good post and it gives good feedback and it's not completely dumpstering on all this stuff. But I mean, that's my feedback. Again, I don't think this stuff is horrible. I think this is, I think the price points are relatively fair, even though I do think the ship core operation one is probably the worst deal, in my opinion. $5 to get very minor skill increases that might not be noticeable to a new bro. You don't get new ships, you don't get new skills or like new tools or weaponry or anything to kind of play with. That's just my opinion. And if they do go down the road of adding more skills, say like Caldari cruisers or whatever, I'd really hope they find a way to allow new bros to actually rotate their skills. So if they did, you know, let's say they did leave the high sec exploration package thing as is, at least give them the opportunity to say, hey, I want to try the Amar one, but like tomorrow, if I kind of switch the skill, maybe a 24-hour cooldown, tomorrow I can start trying the Caldari high sec exploration one. I do that for 3 days. All right, the Heron seems pretty cool, but I want to try the Minmatar one, and then you could switch it. Now you can try the Probe. Something along those lines. Just give more options, and especially since a lot of the skills seem so similar, or a lot of the skills really overlap. I really think the core operation expert system needs more skills. So sorry for the long rant, but I just really wanted to give my feedback. I think being more transparent on the website, making it easier to find these expert systems and really building it out, and attaching some sort of fitting guide or something towards these skills to it as well would help out new bros a lot. So that's pretty much it, guys. Hope you guys enjoy the video and kind of my little rant. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and don't forget to fly safe.